we go to the next slide, if we go to the next slides, I've put again the link to the marketing kits. In the last in-person seminar, I was missing the co-branded logo. If you don't know what is it, it is simply the logo of the marathon, and nearby the logo marathon, you can put your logo. So this logo are now available on the marketing kit. So if you've downloaded again the kit last time, you can just go back there and download the branded logo. This is the one we advise you to use most of the time on your comms. So again, feel free to copy paste the link and download the kit. As always, we'll share the slides, of course, with you, so you can download all the marketing. All the marketing kit. Yeah. And now just another info, and again, we'll share the link with you. We're trying to plan the size of the charity chair zone on the route of the Paris Marathon. It covers as well the Paris Off. We're trying also to know how many charity plan being at the expo. So please just fill out this form in case you plan being there in Paris, either for the Paris Off or Paris Marathon. So we can just adjust the size of the zone and adjust everything depending how many of you are planning to attend, how many supporters you plan having on the charity chair zone on the course. Please, it will take you no more than 2-3 minutes to fill it out, but at least it let us enough time to just plan on time. So now I let Marissa go through a few stuff.
Hi everyone. I'll do a quick intro and save the majority of the session for Naz, who's going to do a bit of more of a detailed demo on the event console. So just to let you know, our next step to help you fill your places, if you have places remaining, on a Friday we reorder the listings to make sure that any charities who are sold out go to the bottom, so we can get lots of new applications or registrations in for charities who still have places. And we also have an application notification alert as well. So if you haven't turned that on, in the next slide, we can just show you how easy it is to do that. So if you're logged into Social Sync now, you can just go to your settings area, then you go to notifications, and then you toggle on the application submitted notification, and then you just put in your email address as well. You can put in multiple email addresses, so they'll all receive the same notification, but you can't kind of determine it on a campaign by campaign level. So you turn it on and you will receive application notifications for anything that you're using Social Sync for. So it's really easy to do, and it's really useful if you want to review and get back to applications as soon as possible. And then on the next slide is a quick intro to the Nuco integration as well. So as you know, Social Sync is all about connected tech. So in the settings area, there's a ton of integrations you can set up. So for this campaign, everyone will have their Stripe for the branded page donations, and they'll have the email integrated to send the supporter journey. But we do other integrations as well. So Nuco, the event registration platform, our integration with them means that for Paris Marathon, people with charity places, they'll be getting their links to enroll in the console, which is the Time to console, via Social Sync. So there's a few ways that you can get that link and send that link and see if that link has been clicked and the account created. So we're going to go through that next. So if you've taken part in Paris Marathon before, you will have done a slightly different system. So now what's built into your Social Sync account is when you send the link out, if you choose to do it via the pathway or if you choose to do it manually, when that link has been sent out, the supporter can also get a nudge on their branded fundraising page. So if they're logged in on the page, it'll tell them if they still need to take that action, or if they've taken the action, it updates there as well. So it's just another way to use those behavioral nudges to get people to take that action. So a few ways that you can do it, and again, Naz is going to show us in more detail afterwards. So when you're in your supporter records, when you're looking at the registration, there's a box where it'll have the new core registration link. So if you were speaking to a supporter or if you wanted to send that manually, you can copy and paste it from that box into an email. Next one. And then this is just an example of what it looks like on the Boostle modal. So the wording is slightly different now as well underneath it. You'll see that right-hand box is a bit long. That was sort of iteration one, but it's a condensed version of that, just saying that there's an action to do. It can take 3 hours for it to update. So we've still kept that as the second one, but shortened down that copy as well. And then next one. And then the other way that you can send it, which is especially useful if you've got a large team, is when you're using the email templates. So if you're using Pathways or even on Rule Builder, if you're familiar with the dynamic fields that you can put in, so you can personalize it all with the usual first name, last name, amount raised, and you can send links to their branded fundraising pages. You can also add in a link direct to their console link as well. But for everybody on the call and all of the official charities, you've got a pathway set up, which we'll show you soon. So a few things to know. So in French law, it's a little bit different. So when anybody takes part in a challenge event or a third party event, you have to do the HPC self-certification as well. So that's a self-certification using an online link, which acts as a medical certification. You can only do that 3 months before the event. So this opens mid-January for people to complete. And what will happen is that when your runners click the link to create their Time to account, they will give all of the information to create their runner number, but they'll be entered into a communications journey as well. So when that HPC window opens, they'll receive the event nudges direct from ASO, which will guide them through setting that up and doing that certification with reminders. And we've got a link just on more details about HPC, which is just from the ASO website, which is really, really handy if anybody wants any more background. And the second thing is before charities, before supporters, sorry, click on the link and enroll in the console, you have the option to manage your team within Social Sync. So I know a lot of people have been cancelling registrations to release an extra place, and you can do that yourself or you can ask us to do it. Either is absolutely fine. But once your supporter clicks on the link and creates their Time to account, that functionality is locked out on Social Sync. So there's a different process to cancel that runner, and it's direct with Quarantine. And over to you.
Yeah, I mean, the dates they haven't changed, but it's just like to give you two main dates for each event. The first being the deadline to cancel anyone who's on the console, because then we launch BIP sprinting, so that's January 5th for the half and February 5th for the full marathon. And the deadline for registration is 3 days prior to the event, so March 5th on the half marathon and April 8th on the marathon. So you can still register people between January 5th and March 5th on the off, and February 5th and April 8th on the marathon. It's just you can't remove anyone because their BIP has been sent to the printhouse and they've got their name, flag, and some info on it. So that's why you can't cancel it anymore. But again, I mean, normally we share the date previously with you, and the dates remain the same as it was.
Thanks for that both. Now on to the exciting part, which is the demonstration and just a few updates. And I'll also talk you through some of those points that Marissa mentioned on how to share the link with your runners in more detail. I'll try and go through this slowly because there is a lot to share, but you don't need to worry because there's not much that you need to do. Most of the setup has already been done for you. So the first step really is to actually get people to create their Time to account. So we need to send them their unique NewCo link. Every supporter will have a unique link, so how we send it to them is really important. And there's 3 ways that you could send each runner their unique NewCo link. You can manually send their link to them. You can add their link into your charity's current registration pathway. So you all have a registration pathway set up for you. It's one of the pathways that we created. So you can go in there, you can pause that pathway, you can pop in the dynamic field, which I'll show you today as well. You can add that link into your registration confirmation pathway. That way, whenever someone registers from this moment onwards, within that registration confirmation, you can just direct them straight to that time to event console. Or the third option is you can create a bespoke pathway purely to share this NewCo link with all of your current registrants. And actually, we've already taken that step for you. We've created that first pathway so that all of your current registrants can receive that link. And I'll show you that in more detail and also share how you can create more of them if you want to. So the first way, as I mentioned, is to manually send each supporter their unique NewCo link. So if you're already in contact with your registrants, you might be in contact with them via email, you might already have a really warm relationship with them, so you're already chatting to them. What you can do is you can log into Social Sync, go to your campaign, then at the top, you'll see some of these tabs. If you click on participants, head to your registrant. So you can do this now as well whilst I'm going through. Some of you might want to actually pull up Social Sync and try and go through this as I'm sharing it with you. So you can go to your participants, go to your registrants, and then you can click on any of your registrants. So in this example, Marissa has submitted a test registration. So if we clicked on Marissa's registration record, what we typically see is her registration record pop up on our screen. Now, on that pop-up, you'll automatically land on the overview page. And if you scroll down, you will see a section titled Place Management. Under Place Management, you will see the place type that that registrant has, so whether it's a charity or own place. If it's a charity place, they will also have their unique NewCo registration link. So you can simply click this copy icon here. That will copy it to your clipboard and you can send it to the supporter if you're already chatting with them. So that's one way that you can send them that link. Now, once that supporter clicks on the link and they create their account on the event console, you will actually be able to see that happen in real time. So give it, again, Marissa said it does take a few hours, but if you give it that time, then you will see that their NewCo place status will change. It will go from empty to account created. And this again is under place management. So if you click on the registrant record, as I mentioned before, you go to your registrations, click on any registrant. Under place management, you will get a lot of information that you will need for that supporter. So you'll get their place type, their unique NewCo link, and then you'll also be able to see if they've taken action yet or not. You can also view that information. So you can view that information on an individual basis. If you click on the record, you can see if they've created their account or not. But you can also view that data in bulk. So rather than, let's say if you have 100 registrants, rather than having to click on each one individually to see if they've taken action, you can export your data. This will export all of your data unless you've filtered it. And then within that spreadsheet, within that export, you will see a column for all of your campaign tags. Now, when someone has taken action, they will receive a campaign tag to say that they have created their account. So you can view that data in bulk as well. The next way, actually, before I show you the next way that you can share the link, as Marissa mentioned, your supporters will also see a little boost modal on the side of their fundraising page. So if they've not taken action yet, if they've not created their Time to account, they will receive a notification just on the side here prompting them to take action. If they have, as you can see, Marissa has taken action, it will just say, thanks for confirming your place. It will show that their place has been confirmed and they don't need to do anything else at this point. So that will be the supporters view. Tilda, I've just seen that you've asked a question. Can we use that account created campaign tag for conditional content if we create a bespoke console journey? I'm glad you asked that question because that takes me on to a couple of my other points. You can, yes. So before I tell you how you can actually use that campaign tag, I'll just quickly go through this next point. So you can add the link to your current registration pathway as well. So everyone obviously has a Paris Marathon campaign. Everyone will also have a registration pathway as well, which we created for you. You might have left that registration pathway as we created, or you might have edited that pathway. Either or is absolutely fine. But what you can do is you can head into that registration pathway and you can add in a dynamic link for the new co-registration link. So let's hope this loads and the platform doesn't go slowly now that I'm doing a demo. But this is what a typical registration pathway looks like. So yours, like I said, might look the same as this if you've not changed it in any way. How it works is as soon as someone registers, so if we look at the source, as soon as someone registers, they receive their registration confirmation email. What I've done in this example is I've actually edited the copy. Excuse me. I've edited the copy to include a prompt to direct people to create an account on the event console. So what this means is if I have any registrants coming in from this point onwards, so if you still have charity places left, you might want to come and do this. I've edited the copy and all I've done is added in a button. And then what you can do is, because every supporter's link is different, it's unique, we need to add a dynamic field. So if you click on this Thunderbolt icon, you can scroll down and we have added a dynamic field for the NUCO registration link. So what you can do is click the confirm registration URL, and then depending on the email that is being, depending on the email that this email is being sent to, the unique link will be pulled through. So like I said, this will only apply to those of you who still have registrants coming in. So definitely worth doing. The other way that you can send that unique NUCO link is to actually create a new pathway, which you all now have. We have created a new pathway for you all so that you can reach out to anyone who has already registered. So what I just showed you is purely for those who come in from this moment onwards, but you still need to contact those who have already registered. So we need to create a new pathway. So what everyone now has, if you go onto your campaign, you'll notice that there is a new pathway that is being created. And I'm not too sure why the one from here has disappeared. Is it here? No, it has disappeared. Let me just quickly hop on to, if you just bear with me, I'm going to quickly hop on to a different account and show you what that pathway will look like. So I'm going to, here's one that I created last night. Apologies, I'm not too sure why it disappeared from the other account. Okay, so let me reshare. So everyone will now have a new pathway, and you can see that that pathway will be titled the NUCO account creation pathway. If you have 50 places, if you have fewer than 50 places, fewer than 50 charity places, your pathway will be shorter. It will be limited to these 3 nodes. So you will have a trigger, you will have one email that's being sent out to your current registrants, and you have a tag as well. If you have more than 50 places, then your pathway will have an additional 2 reminders. It doesn't matter what your pathway looks like because you can duplicate them, you can replicate them. You might want to replicate them on a monthly basis to remind any registrants coming in to take action. So really it doesn't matter how big or short your pathway is. How it will work and how everyone's will work at the moment is you have a pathway source. So this is the trigger for your pathway. And let me just sort out my screen. So this will be your trigger, and I have set everyone's to a date time trigger, and I've set everyone's to the 9th of December. You can come in here and you can change the date if you wish. You can bring it all the way forward. You can change that to today. You can change it to tomorrow's date whenever you want. But I have set everyone's to the 9th of December at 10 a.m. So what will happen is on this date and time, all of your contacts will be pulled through to this pathway. But obviously we only want to contact those who have registered. We don't need to contact any applicants. So everyone will also have some exclusions set. So the exclusions I've set for you are, we need to exclude anyone who isn't a registrant, fundraiser or active fundraiser. And in this campaign, anyone who isn't a registrant, fundraiser or active fundraiser is an applicant. So we're excluding applicants from this pathway. It's not relevant to them. And then we're also excluding anyone who has a campaign tag of NewCo account created. Now, this won't apply to anyone right now because none of your runners have created their account, but this will be important if at any point you want to duplicate the pathway for any future outreach. So that's why I've added it in so that you can simply come in here and duplicate. So we've got those inclusions and exclusions. So that's the trigger. So like I said, on the 9th of December, if you choose to stick with this date, your registrants will be pulled through and they'll be sent this NewCo invite. And I'll click into the email so that you can have a look at what it looks like. You have full control over this. So I recommend everyone after today's webinar, have a look in the emails, just check you're happy with the tone of voice. You might want to change that to your own charity's tone of voice. Make sure you're happy with how the email is being signed off. So you have control over this copy. You can change it to how you wish. One thing that I ask you all not to change is this button. So if you click into the button, you will see that that dynamic field for the NewCo registration link has been put in there for you. So this cannot change. Please do not remove this. You can change the text that is on the button though. So you do have control over that. The most important thing is this dynamic field. Also, just have a look over your settings. Make sure you're happy with the from and reply to emails that are in there. And you're also happy with the email subject line. So just have a look over the content and settings. Once that email is sent, then your supporters will receive a campaign tag, and that campaign tag is received NewCo invite. And this will allow you just to identify who has received this email and who has not. Again, just purely for tracking purposes. So if you've got under 50 places, that's what your pathway will look like. I will share with you how to duplicate this in just a second as well. Those of you who have more that have 50 or more places, like I said, you have an additional 2 reminders. So those supporters, after receiving that initial email, will wait for 2 days. We've then added in a condition, just asking, have they created their account yet? If they have, brilliant, they won't receive any further reminders. If they haven't, they will receive 1 reminder. And again, it's worth just coming in here, checking the copy, seeing if you're happy with it. Again, please do not change the URL within the button. And again, they'll wait for 2 days after that. And again, we've added in a condition asking, have they created their account yet? If they have, then great. If not, they will receive a final reminder. So that's what the pathway looks like. If I were you guys, what I would do is every month I would just duplicate this pathway. So it might be at the start of every month, at the end of every month, just duplicate this pathway just to make sure that those who have not yet taken action are being reminded on a regular basis. To duplicate the pathway, don't worry, you don't need to come and create a new pathway and do everything from scratch. I am very excited to announce that our pathway templates are finished now. So you can actually save this as a template and just come in at a later date and pop this back in, change the date that it's going out, and that's all you need to do. So to save it as a template, all you need to do is click on these three dots, hit Save as Template. What this will do is it will save it into your library. And if I just pause my screen share again for 1 second, so that I can head back to our account, I'll show you how that looks. So bear with me, give me 2 seconds. Okay, so I'll head back into our pathways. So let's say this is the pathway that I wanted to save as a template. All you'd have to do is click into the three dots, save as template, give the template a title. So we could say test template. You can give it a description if you like. Create template. And then to access that template, to have a look around, what you can do is you can go to your library, your account library. You'll see that there is now a new tab here called Pathways. And if you click into Pathways, you will see there is our test template that I've just saved. So it will go into here. And again, what you can do is head into your pathways. Like I said, you don't need to create anything from scratch. All you need to do is click New Pathway, and then you can select from your templates. And you've got all these templates that you can choose from. So you can choose that template, and that will create a new pathway for you using that template. So you can just come in here, you can change the date that you're sending it out. So like I said, you can do this at the start of every month, at the end of every month, but I do recommend you do it regularly. And that's all there is to share with you today. I know that was a lot of information, so I'm just going to pause and I'll go through any questions that might have come in. I could see from the from my periphery that there were some comments being shared in the chat. Apologies if I went too fast for anyone, but I'll go through those now. So let's have a look. Sophie, you've asked, are the links available now? Our registrants aren't showing any links currently.
I've checked that out with the engineering team, and they toggled them off just until we'd done the webinar. So I've asked them to make them live for everybody.
Fab, thanks, Marissa. Hannah, you've asked, I may have missed this, but is there something that needs to be done to integrate Nico, the wrench? Oh, that's linked to the same question. So the reg link field was blank. So you don't need to do anything, Hannah. It's all being done for you. So we'll make sure that those links appear for you after the webinar.
And of course, we'll just share with you the presentation. So once we send you the presentation, the links will be available, so you can just follow the different steps that was presented by Naz. And I also wanted to add two info. So now that the new code journey is now integrated on Social Sync, if you have any question in relation to the fundraising, so as always, you can just ask your question to the Social Sync team. If you have any question regarding time to the registration flow, on time to, if your supporter face any problem with registering and confirming their places once they receive the link, just feel free to send me an email and I will have a look at this, of course.
Thanks, Karen Tan. I think the only other question that we had that hasn't been answered is, can you export the NUCO links? The answer to that, Lizzie, I saw that was your question, is no. So those NUCO links can only be accessed on the record for each registrant. So when you export the data, those links will not be within the export. So you have to click onto the registrant's record, go to that place type management, and you'll see it there.
Just guys, the idea is just to have a seamless experience and just to save you time. So that's why the idea is to send like an email to all or at least most of your runners, because most of you have filled your places. Niam, if you really need the list of the links, I can manage to get you those, but the idea is not, because of the dev that was done, is not to like use option 4 to send the links, but rather to use like the pathways that were created by Social Sync in order to gain time and to avoid you spend many time on sending the links.
Just looking at your question, Eve, do you think that maybe you have to go in and get in a link individually for everybody? Because the pathway that'll be set up is just the same as the registration confirmation pathway. So it's set up where everybody who's got a charity place, as soon as you kind of click live, you can do that mass email to everybody. So the individuals will get their link, and then the reminder emails will be there as well for you guys.
Fab. All right. Well, we have our support email address here. So if you think of any questions afterwards, obviously you all have my email address, you all have Marissa's. So we're here if you want to speak to us directly, or you can contact us at support@socialsync.app. But do take a look around those pathways after today's webinar. And if you've got any questions, then just let us know.
Great. Thank you so much.
Lovely. Any final questions? No? Okay, great. Well, we shall let you all go then. Oh, Anik, I can see you've just asked a question, how do runners create the time to account? That's exactly what we've just been through. So if you joined late, then I recommend just watch the recording back, because we go through that whole process on how they can create their time to account in today's webinar. But it was lovely to have you all here. And yeah, if there aren't any final questions, then we'll let you all go. It was lovely to see you all. Take care.
Bye, everyone.